Yeah, I mean, there's no need to fiber collimator to be here.
There's no PD either.
PD?
Yeah, photodetector.
Oh. What's wrong with
Do you know what's probably happened?
it? Well, it was there in the beginning. They put the figure and it was removed in the middle of the revision or something.
Yeah, somebody said, why have we got PD here? Just put camera.
Oh yeah. Well, camera is okay. So yeah, detector. So they put camera instead of PD.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess the objective lens is instead of fiber collimator, or maybe just L1 is instead of
this one.
Yeah.
Well, L's are all lenses, so.
Wait, actually, the collimator should be the one up here, right?
Here.
Yeah, that lens should be collimator, shouldn't it?
Fiber collimator. Why did they use fiber?
I don't know.
But the whole optics is on the free space, right?
I think so. It's not labeled where it's used, so. The focal lengths 5 centimeters, 20 centimeters, and 20 centimeters respectively.
Right. So what was the question there?
Why did they measure the polarizations, and why do we get this one? That's interesting.
TE polarized deflected rays and TM polarized deflected rays. Oh. Yeah, maybe we understood enough. Yeah. How do you think?
I think it's a really interesting article.
All right. Would you summarize what's this work?
Okay, so the work demonstrates the use of two metasurfaces to produce a retroreflector, which enables a surface to reflect light back at the same angle that the light was incident on the surface.
All right, yeah.
The work is very well structured.
Yeah.
From what we've read. It seems to indicate that they have a high level of fabrication capabilities.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. And it's also nice to see that they've used simulation to dictate the direction of the design. It would be nice to see how well the design structure matches the behavior that was predicted by the simulations, but there is no experimental data shown in the paper relating to the phase change other than the provision of the images of the retroreflector.
Yeah, right. Why didn't put the experimental data instead of simulation? I mean, if they did, yeah. I guess they did. Or maybe they didn't.
it may be in supplementary material.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
We should have a look and see if that's there, but we can do that offline.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
We've already been talking for
3 hours.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah.
But it's been a good discussion. I've really enjoyed it.
All right. Good. Yeah. Enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you for running the Midnight Journal Club in English for me this week.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure to join you.
Yeah, it was very good to have you here, and I learned a lot. I wouldn't understood that much if you were not there. Yeah. And yeah, thank you. I understood better, I guess. Yeah. And it's an interesting work, and I raised some suspicion here and there, but in general, I I agree that they did a very good job, and I would I think they really worked hard to make this work. Yeah.
I think it's always difficult when you read scientific literature. It's always tempting to pick apart what people have done and what they're trying to hide. I like to think that people are reasonably honest most of the time.
All right. Yeah.
But I've read many papers where you look at it, you go, that's so dodgy, and you can see straight away that they've done things deliberately. And it makes me sad sometimes to see what makes it past reviews.
All right. Yeah.
But I think that these guys have done a great job, and I don't think, from what we've read and from the figures that I can see, it seems that they're being reasonably straightforward in the way that they're presenting their results. And why not? It's a great result.
Yeah. Right. It's a great result, and well, there's really fabrication. It includes a lot of work in fabrication. And I guess also optical measurement would be not very easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, fabrication is more difficult part, I guess. Yeah,
I think so.
yeah. Maybe designing is also important. We didn't really go through how the design works, but yeah, maybe the designing part would be kind of difficult. Yeah.
This paper is, I think it's really worth reading the supplementary material associated with this paper, because I'd like to know more about exactly how those metastructures are actually functioning. It may be covered in the body of the text.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
But it's definitely worth reading through and having a look at that, because I think combinations of metastructures like what they're suggesting here could be really interesting, or could have really interesting applications for handling signal processing. So what they've demonstrated here is that you can perform two separate mathematical operations on incident light.
Yeah.
If you can do that in an angle-dependent way and have one of those mathematical transforms providing information, then it could have some really interesting applications, I think.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, here they combine the one metasurface perform the Fourier transform, and another metasurface perform the momentum flipping.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually that's the second part is. Yeah.
But actually that explains why it flips in both orientations.
Well, I guess that explains it. Yeah.
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 Because if it's flipping the momentum completely, then depending on the incident momentum, that momentum is a three-dimensional vector. So the inverse of that is flipped in both x and y.
I don't know. I think they only tilted the angle in one direction.
But the image is still flipped in both directions.
Yeah.
Either that or rotated by 180 degrees.
Yeah.
But that makes sense if you consider that the light is a three-dimensional vector. So if it is doing a direct momentum inversion in the plane of the device, then that should flip it in x and y.
Yeah. Yeah, I never think about. Yeah. I think basically the retroreflector would introduce one more flip, or a flip in another direction. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting. mirror.
All right, yeah, thank you for today, and all right, let's finish here. Let's say goodbye. Bye bye.
We should actually do one thing. Let's leave on the video footage from this paper. So the experimentalists have provided us with a.
Oh, right, yeah. So yeah, there's a video.
Yeah.
Yeah, we wanted to. Yeah, we plan to watch this one. Oh yeah. All right. Yeah. This is a video in the supplementary information.
So this is showing the reflectance as a function of the angle as they tilt the retroreflector.
Yes.
So in a normal mirror, what you would see is initially, once the angle increased above the numerical aperture of the lens, you would see no reflected light at all. In the case of the retroreflector, what we're observing is the compression of the image formed on the retroreflector as a function of angle due to the footprint of the incident light onto the retroreflector. But we're still seeing significant reflection up to, I think they stopped at about 53. So we see significant reflection up to 53 degrees, which is pretty impressive. I think that's one other thing that we can lean towards them not.
Yeah. So as we mentioned some time before, this spatial gap between the metasurface 1 and 2 is 500 micrometers. So you think that is the part which is incident on the metasurface 1, but not touching the metasurface 2 because of the angle?
Yes, it's actually two things. It's the part incident on metasurface 1 but not being reflected by metasurface 2, and it's also as you tilt the object, if I have a dot, oh no, it would get larger, the footprint, wouldn't it? Yeah, so it must just be the ones not hitting metasurface 2. Interestingly though, in the video, you can actually see the circle of metasurface 1 with the back reflection from outside of
the gold reflector?
The gold reflector. So when it's at small angle, you can see what you would normally see from a reflected mirror, and then you can see it disappears. So if you watch it again, from 0 degrees up until 4 degrees, you can see signal reflected from the surrounding gold reflector.
So that's how much the normal reflector will,
a normal
mirror will reflect.
Yeah. So that's actually a great video because it demonstrates both the behavior of a normal reflector and the behavior of the retroreflector in the same video.
Yeah, so we can see the contrast between the retroreflector and the background is more significant when the angle becomes greater.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
I almost forgot about the video, and thank you for reminding me about this video clip. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Let's say goodbye to the audience. Yeah. Bye bye, and see you next time.